For this project, I chose to analyze the Savannah Tribune from the year 1875 to 1922. The first front page I found was an issue from December 4th, 1875. One thing that I found especially interesting about this front page was the fact that the paper was apparently originally called the Colored Tribune, which would obviously be considered problematic in today's world. There are 3 columns in this issue, so it almost looks like a book or a magazine article at first glance. This makes it very readable, but there really isn't a lot of content. The second front page I chose to look at was from November 5th, 1898. At this time, the paper had changed its name to the Savannah Tribune. There's a lot more content in this issue compared to the last, and there are 3 tables of information on the right side, which I found interesting. There are 4 columns along with the tables on the side, which is a change from the previous front page. The third front page I found was from May 2nd, 1908, and the columns are a lot more condensed than both of the issues before. It's a bit hard to read since the text is so small and there are 6 columns of text, but I guess this does indicate that a lot more content was being put into the paper at this time. It's pretty hard to separate stories visually, but if you look close enough, you can see that there are some small spaces between the stories. The last front page I chose was from December 28th, 1922. This front page has very distinct headlines, which I really appreciated. It was also the only issue I looked at that included a photo. This one included a portrait of a man. There are 7 columns in this issue, but it's easier to read since the headlines are so distinct. Another thing that I found interesting was that there were not any advertisements in any of the front pages that I looked at, and there were not any drawings or graphics either, unless you do count the tables. All of the front pages look relatively similar other than the amounts of columns changing, and most of the stories revolve around the church, which I wasn't surprised at given the location of the paper during this time, but I did think that it was something worth pointing out.